A good day to you, sports fans. Welcome to yet another explosive episode of the Golden Score Show right here on Non-Field Flicks. With me, Adelani. Today is going to be an amazing show. Get ready for yet another electrifying show. Yeah. Welcome back to the Golden Score Show, and these are the stories making headlines tonight on the Golden Score News. In our first story, Chad barred from African Cup of Nations qualifiers. In our next story, Simon Uwankwo racially abused on social media. McLaren signed teenager Ugo Ugochukwu. Chris Paul reaches 10,000 assists. Brooks Koepka could miss Augusta National event. Started with our first story, Chad barred from African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Chad will not take part in the final matches of qualification for next year's African Cup of Nations after being disqualified by African football's governing body, CAF. Chad, who were already bottom of Group A and with no chance of qualifying for the finals in Cameroon, will no longer play their upcoming matches against Namibia and Mali in Group A. The decision comes after Chad's Football Federation was suspended by the country's Ministry of Youth and Sports. Football's governing bodies have strict rules in place which punish political involvement in national football federations. Staying with African football, Simon Uwankwo racially abused on social media. Nigerian international Simon Uwankwo is the latest African footballer in the Italian Serie A to be racially abused on social media. The 28-year-old, who played for his country at the 2018 World Cup, shared screenshots of abusive messages sent to him on Instagram after scoring in Saturday's 3-2 home defeat by Bologna. Moving on to some fascinating Formula One news, McLaren signed teenager Ugo Ugochukwu. McLaren have reportedly signed a contract with 13-year-old American karter Ugo Ugochukwu to support him through racing's junior categories. The Formula One team said the agreement gives them an option to sign Ugochukwu to a race deal in the future. Ugochukwu, who was born in New York and whose mother is Nigerian, won last year's FIA Junior European Championship. Moving on to the NBA, Chris Paul reaches 10,000 assists. Moving on to the NBA, Chris Paul reaches 10,000 assists. Chris Paul became the sixth man in NBA history to reach 10,000 assists as his Phoenix Suns team beat a Los Angeles Lakers side without LeBron James. Paul scored 11 points with 10 rebounds and 13 assists as the Suns beat the Lakers 111-94. In golf news, Brooks Koepka could miss Augusta National event. Four-time major champion Brooks Koepka could miss next month's Masters after undergoing surgery on his right knee. Koepka suffered a dislocation of his kneecap and ligament damage. The 30-year-old had surgery last week and will wait to see if he can play in the Masters, which begins on the 8th of April. So that wraps up your Golden Score News this hour. When we come back, we're back with our special guest. Don't move a muscle. Welcome back to the Golden Score Show right here on Non-Fuel Flicks, and I hope you smashed that like button. I hope you've subscribed, and I hope that you've been making comments on the old shows where we're going to get back into our discussion on football. Well, we have Emmanuel Kurada to do just that. I mean, everybody's been enjoying you on the show, Emmanuel. We just had to bring you back. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me once again, Adelani.
All right, well, the last time we were here, we were speaking to Timothy Batabayre, and he was speaking about the Orlando Pirates versus Kaizer Chiefs game. Did it live up to the hype for you?
No, it wasn't. This is a derby that has been talk of the town, people talking about, fans fighting each other about the derby. But this time around, it was just a boring one, For me, at least for me, I don't know about other people, but for me, it was a boring game. Kaizer Chiefs did not deserve to win the game, because they did not make any attempts. They were just, just the Pirates dominated the game. But I
guess it's because Kaizer Chiefs had struggled in recent weeks.
Yeah, I know they've struggled. Also, in this same derby, they've struggled. Remember, Pirates have won 3 times this season. This is a derby that, dated back to the first one being 1971, like 50 years back. And we've seen a lot of excitement. We've seen a lot of glamour. People talking about it, being at the stadium where the pictures are circulating here and there of fans, interacting, fighting, and having these kind of conversations. It has actually been one of the most talked about derby in African football, But coming into this one, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if because the fans were not there to witness and then also motivate the players. It was just a boring one that only one attempt, only one goal. That is not what we're expecting to see in a derby as Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates.
Yes, and the goal was scored by Nokovic.
Yeah, Samuel Nokovic scored a goal. He settled it for Chiefs. Sometimes it happened like that you don't play very well, but you get a win. So they got the 1-0 win, and I'm sure Gavin Hunt will be pleased with his team that they did not perform very well, but at the end of the day, they got the 3 points, and they are coming from Gavin, who is also an experienced coach in the PSL, who has won 3 PSL titles with Super Sports. He went to coach Vets, now coming back to Kaizer Chiefs. I'm sure this will be a very, very good result for him.
Well, hey, Kaizer Chiefs, they will be hoping that momentum doesn't stop. Well, the momentum is not going to stop here on the Golden Score Show, because we're going to go from the shores of Africa to international football, where we saw Chelsea qualify in the FA Cup. And we're not going to ask Emmanuel Kurada about that one, because you know how he likes to boast about Chelsea. But we're going to talk about Manchester United being knocked out of the FA Cup. Because I tell you what, I was watching the game with a Manchester United fan, and as soon as Leicester scored that second goal, he got up and he walked off. He was, first of all, upset with the fact that Manchester United decided to bench Bruno Fernandes. What was the thinking behind that with Solskjaer? Was it right to bench him?
You also have to understand the fact that they just coming from Europa. Some of the players are tired. So rotating a team is not a bad thing. That's why you have 23.
But rotating your best player, is it a wise thing?
Who is not the best in the team? Everyone is the best according to the coach. Everyone he is called upon to come and play, they've been giving him results. So you can't say this one is the best and this one is not the best. Yes, Fernandes came in. Did he change the game? No. He was in when Iheanacho scored the 3rd goal. He didn't change the game. So you have to look at it from the coach also. Look, if the coach had won the game without Fernandes, what were the fans going to say? They were still going to say, oh, the coach was perfect. The master plan from the coach worked out very well. But then he made a substitution or a change to the team that he felt was the best for the team and the players. And they lost, and then people are complaining. It was a very entertaining game. They played against a Leicester City side that is together, well organized. They've been doing very well in recent times. And you have Iheanacho. One thing I like about this game is that after Iheanacho scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United, a lot of Nigerian fans were attacking him that, why are you celebrating somebody who scored against Sheffield United side? That is the last on the table. But now he proved it against a Manchester United side who is second on the table. What are they going to say? He scored 2 goals. You know, so I'm very happy. I'm also having Didi there as a Nigerian midfielder who was there, you know, play very well.
The African sons were shining.
I was so happy with their performance and the result. I was happy that they scored and also won, and they're now in the semi-final. Their chances of winning a silverware this season are high.
Okay, so this semi-final between Leicester
and Southampton.
And Chelsea and Manchester City.
That's the final before a final.
Yes.
Chelsea, Man City, anybody that wins there, I'm not going to say they're going to win, but you know, chances are that they might, you know, win it.
But Leicester is no pushover.
No,
Leicester
they're not.
Definitely could surprise you on a good day. Another incredible game we saw that wasn't the FA Cup, it was the Premier League, was that pulsating, interesting, incredible game between the Hammers and Arsenal. Now, by halftime, West Ham was 3-0 up. That game, what do you make out of it? Because Mikel Arteta was actually angry with his Arsenal side that they keep starting games badly and they keep seeing themselves in positions where they have to chase the game.
Yeah.
But chase the game they did. They came back to draw 3-3.
The last time we saw a game like this was Arsenal against Newcastle. Tiote, may his soul rest in peace. Tiote scored that equalizing goal. You remember that? And you know, this was one of the best performances from Arsenal that I've seen this season.
In the second half.
In the second half.
Yes.
You know,
I saw in the first half.
I saw a team that was hungry. I saw a team that was well determined to get a result. I saw a team that went all out, that we have nothing to lose. And then we saw how the defenders were pressing high, the likes of David Luiz, Chambers, and then Odegaard was just, for me, he was man of the match.
And the man of the match was given to Chambers, actually.
Oh, you see, but no, you can't even fault that because all these guys, they played. And it was a game where Odegaard was constantly a thorn in the flesh of the West Ham defenders. He was pushing, going forward, making sure he was not scared to try. He was not scared to push. And they made sure that, look, the coach should be happy. They're losing 3-0 against West Ham that are in form right now. And they're coming back to draw. And if not because of time, those guys were going to win that game. The way I saw it. So I think the coach should be happy with the performance from the players. The players stepped the game up in the second half, and they were able to get a draw at least.
So let's talk about Odegaard. Could Arsenal fans finally be at rest that the club has finally replaced Ozil?
I'll be very happy if Arsenal can sign that guy. You know, because he's a player right now. The way he's looking. The way he played yesterday, he played like...
So have they replaced Ozil?
No, yes, for me, look, you cannot compare him to Ozil because he's a young lad who's coming up. But then you have Ozil who have won a lot of things, man. He has a big player, and it will take time for anyone to fit into that shoes. You know, so you just have to make sure right now, let him continue. The consistency from him, we need that. And before you can be able to compare him to Ozil. But he is a quality player, and we can all see that.
Well, those are English Premier League classics. I can confidently say I think that game will be replayed for years to come. But something, well, I wouldn't say tragic, but it feels tragic to me every time the English Premier League is stopped for international
it becomes
football,
boring, you know.
But hey, the fans watching at home, that shouldn't stop you from watching those international games, because right here on the Golden Score Show, we will be reviewing some of those games if they happen to be as exciting as the Arsenal and West Ham game we witnessed over the weekend. But yes, Emmanuel Akurada, how do you feel about international football? Is it always boring for you, or do you bump into a few games that you like?
What I've said a lot of times is that they should just make sure after the leagues are over, then you can go and play all this international football, man. Because, I mean, I understand that the players will need to rest and all that, but you need to also understand that it makes the whole flow, the whole vibe, you know, slow, and people just, you know, when the Premier League is going, like you say, we're enjoying these matches. Week in, week out, we want to watch Premier League, we want to see how our teams are performing, and then we have to stop and then go watch international. For me, I don't feel I don't feel okay. How about the players are injured, coming back from the international duties injured? Then it's going to affect the various teams, you know. So
The
I don't,
various
and
clubs.
so I'm not looking forward to any of them.
So Emmanuel Okurada, I have a question to ask you in front of our lovely, beloved fans watching at home right now.
Yeah.
Now, at the age of 22 years old, do you remember what you were doing?
That's a tough one, because at the age of 22, I was struggling.
Okay.
I was struggling, so I wouldn't want to talk about it, because I was, at that age, you have people who will mentor you, people who will guide you, people who will make sure that you're not making mistakes. You have family members that are there for you. You have you know, relatives that are there just to guide you. But then to some of us, you had no one to be there for you. So for me, I would say it was a horrible experience that I would not want to talk about.
When you were 22?
When I was 22.
Yeah, well, when I was 22, I just had dreams of being a TV presenter. I hadn't actualized the dream yet, but let me tell you someone that is an inspiration at 22. His name is Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe made history over the weekend at the tender age of 22. Just showing all the 22-year-olds watching right now that you can make your dreams come true. And no matter what you're struggling with right now, it will surely pass, and you will actualize your dreams. Now, Kylian Mbappe scored twice as Paris Saint-Germain won 4-2 at Lyon to go top of Ligue 1. The 22-year-old French striker's efforts either side of the break saw him become the youngest player to score 100 goals in the French top flight. How amazing is that?
Incredible
He's
stuff.
a superstar.
He is a superstar. I mean, remember, minus the 3 years from his years now, he won the World Cup.
He won the World Cup at the age of 19.
At the age of 19.
So also for the 19-year-olds watching right now,
you know,
you can make your dreams come true. Is never too you never too young to make these things, your dreams, come true.
So yeah, he's a quality player. You know, if he continues like this, there are speculations here and there that might go to Real Madrid, Barcelona, or even Liverpool.
Where do you see him ending up?
Well, I think every player's dream and aspiration is to make sure that they go to Real Madrid.
Yes,
every
I'm
player.
going to make a bold prediction here on the Golden Score Show and predict that he's going to be the successor to Karim Benzema.
I'll be very happy to see him in Real Madrid, because he is a top quality. And he, like you say, now at the age of 22, he scored 100 goals in the league. He won the World Cup, won a lot of trophies. So going to Real Madrid right now, I think he'll be looking to win the Champions League, you know, then complete that. I see him taking over from the likes of Messi and Ronaldo.
Wow. That is a bold claim, but by the looks of things,
right now we don't have.
If
you look at the top players in the European leagues right now, you will see that he's one of the people that are doing very well.
Right.
Aside Messi, and Messi, they are getting old, obviously.
Yes.
Their time will surely come to pass. So you need to have these young boys that will step up their game and take over.
Definitely. Well, we're going to keep tabs on this shining star, this trailblazer, Kylian Mbappe. Definitely looking good for him. Now, from the football fields to the basketball courts we go. And the NBA also was sizzling hot recently.
I'm telling you.
Emmanuel Okurada, which players have impressed you? Can you give us a little wrap of what you saw in the NBA?
Adelani, a lot of players impressed me. But the ones that stood out for me was, Blake Griffin. Okay. You know, he had a successful debut for the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
He made his first dunk since 2019. Wow. You know, in the 113-106 win over the Washington Wizards. Okay. And another one is Luka. Luka scored 37 points.
Oh, Luka Doncic.
Doncic, yeah.
Okay.
37 points in the Dallas Mavericks 132-92 thrashing of the Portland Trail Blazers. And the New Orleans Pelicans defeated the Denver Nuggets 113-108.
Okay.
You know, and Jaylen Brown scored 10 3-pointers to lead the Boston Celtics to a 112-96 victory over the Orlando Magic. You know, so those are the ones that impressed me.
Wow, that's incredible. The Lakers were unfortunate not to have King LeBron.
Yeah, he's
playing
out. He's
for
out
them.
injured. Yeah.
Yes, and we saw it. We saw that they lost their match, and well, let's hope that when King LeBron comes back for the Lakers, because I personally like the Lakers so much that they can make an impact. Well, that wraps up the Golden Score Show for you today, and we'll be back again very shortly, bringing you all the hottest and the latest in the world of sports. Take care.